Hey, we are going to get started here with our second panel. Not everyone is here, but the show must go on right now. This panel is called Judea and Samaria Sovereignty. As questions of governance, rights, and long-term vision come to the forefront, we're hearing from leaders deeply engaged on the ground. I am chairing this panel, along with Governor Yisrael Ganz, Governor of the Binyamin Regional Council and head of the Yesha Council, Nadia Matar, co-founder of the Sovereignty Movement, along with Judith Katzover, Tila, Falic, Philanthropist and Zionist activist. She is in the next room. She's going to be coming in. And unfortunately, MK Simcha Rothman had to leave. He is a member of Knesset, so we understand that he had to leave. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we began the discussion yesterday. We had a bigger panel in terms of, it was called the State Solution about sovereignty, but we want to continue the discussion here. And there are a lot of different issues in regard to sovereignty, which I think we need to address. When should sovereignty be applied? How should it be applied? Should Israel start with the Jordan Valley? Tila, no problem. Should sovereignty be applied only in Area C? Should it be applied to all of Judea and Samaria? What will the status be of the Arabs living in the areas under Israeli control? What is the best plan? Is it Ambassador Friedman's plan? Jordan is Palestine, the annexation of Area C? Should we establish emirates, Mordechai Kedar, Carolyn Glick's plan, an exchange of populations? All these ideas are out there, security considerations, of course. What should be with Gaza? All these issues are on the table in our very short time here, but we're going to start with Governor Yisrael Ganz.
Should I answer the whole question together?
Whatever you want. We'll give you 4 minutes to answer all of those questions if you can.
I'm going to ask if you can introduce yourself. Some people have requested.
We did that, but we'll do it again. This is Governor Israel Ganz, head of the Binyamin Regional Council and chairman of the Yesha Council.
So in my eyes, we had to apply the Israeli law, what people call sovereignty. Let's say yesterday or a year before, decades ago. Of course, it's historical justice, but it's not only historical justice. It's about the life of the people that living there. Today, everyone that drive on the common road, doesn't matter his name, where he's come from, he suffer from that no one has a responsibility about the area. The Israeli law is not applied there because, like, if I want to buy a land in Binyamin where I live, I'm not allowed to buy because only Jordanian allowed to buy a land. And of course, we arrived to security. I had a visit in Emek Hefer. It's over the Green Line, but near Kfar Saba. And they are looking at Tulkarem. They building very high buildings overlooking their towns. And they saw them training, and they can do nothing because the Israel law is not applied there. So it's not only about justice and historical justice. It's not only about religious. It's about the life of people. And the responsibility to do that, it's on Prime Minister Netanyahu and the government that we love and support, and we demand and we call them to apply the Israel law. And I'm sure that they will have the support of United States of America, the President of the United States, in this movement.
Just to follow up, if I can, and the Arabs who would then live under Israeli sovereignty, what do you propose should happen to them?
So I can share with you that there are some conversation in the state of Israel with a few teams that deal with this question. In my belief, it's basic that our rights, it's over the area. We came here after long exile, and Jews belonging in Judea. The state of Israel belongs to the people of Israel. For me, it's very clear. Now, it's a process when to do and what to do. I think the only way that we can solve the problem today is to apply the Israel law over all the area of Judea and Samaria with different rights Maybe we'll talk about it later, what it's meaning, but at least, and I think, and it's not only I think, we made a poll, and almost 75% of the Israeli population support applying the Israel law over all the empty areas that not populated by Arabs, that we're talking about between 65 to 70% from Judea and Samaria. So what would we do? We have to coordinate, I think, with the government, with United States of America, but I think it's a process, but it's the end. It has to be, the Israel law will be all over the area.
Nadia Matar, chairman, co-chairman of the sovereignty movement. What are your thoughts?
Hello. Hello. Thank you, Josh. Thank you to JNS. I represent here also Judith Katzover, who had the thought in 2011 already to think that we have to create the sovereignty movement. You can't go around and say all the time no to a Palestinian state. What is our yes? And this is my opportunity to say thank you to my dear husband, David Matar, for always being there. Without the support of our husbands, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. To your question, I would like, in continuation to yesterday's panel, to give some axiomas for sovereignty. Number one, the main question really is, to whom does this land belong? And the axioma number one has to be, the land of Israel belongs entirely to the people of Israel. Also, according to international law, there is no other people that has any legal claim to 1 centimeter of our land. It's a very important axioma. Number two, we have to make sure that there will never be a Palestinian state. Number three, sovereignty has to be decided here in Israel, and now that we have a sympathetic ally, thank God, in the United States with the Trump administration, there is no excuse, and I was waiting for MK Simcha Rothman to tell it to him right here. Minister Smotrich says the year 2025 has to be the year of sovereignty. If they don't do it in this government, it will be, God forbid, a very big failure. Number four, when discussing sovereignty, we have to stop talking the Oslo talk. There is no A, B, and C anymore. It's all ours. There's no only Area C. Also in Area A and B do we have things. We can't talk about settlement blocks. No, not only settlement blocks. We want sovereignty much more. Ultimately, we must have as a goal sovereignty over everything, as Israel Ganz said. For instance, Greater Jerusalem. Why is Jerusalem so small? Every country has a metropolitan, how do you say that in English? A metropolitan, right? Jerusalem has to be included with Ma'ale Adumim, all of Binyamin, all of Gush Etzion, all of Greater Ariel, which includes all of Shomron. Greater Jerusalem, Yerushalayim HaKdosha, it deserves it. Of course, all of the Jordan Valley, all our eastern border. We must have sovereignty right now over all those areas. The next and last axioma, in the Middle East, if you are respected, if you are strong. As long as there's no sovereignty, what do we portray? Weakness. We basically stutter and we say, we're not sure it's ours. That's what gives the Arabs hope, and when they have hope, they commit terror. We have to crush that hope by applying sovereignty and making them understand that they will never be able to take any part of our land, and sovereignty is the answer to that. As to the Arab questions, if I can make another half a minute, to the Arab question, because that's the main question. Why is there no sovereignty? Because what to do with the Arabs? I'll repeat what I said yesterday, because it's simply what our answer is. October 7 was a watershed moment. The massacre of 1,200 Israelis by Hamas and the widespread support it received from Arabs in Gaza, Judea and Samaria. You know that over 80% of the Arabs of Judea and Samaria were in favor of the massacre. Meaning, if you see a group of 100 Arabs of Judea and Samaria, 80 of them are willing to cut your head off and to do whatever they did. Let's put it in our head. So the conclusion is, after October 7, that we cannot have illusions. Granting citizenship or even residency to populations that glorify terror is national suicide, and therefore, thank God, President Trump's relocation plan offers a clear direction. Those who reject Jewish sovereignty should be relocated. If Arab and other states are so concerned, let them open their doors. For the Arab minority who did not support the massacre and accept Israel as a nation state of the Jewish people, we may consider residency based on proven loyalty. There's many different plans for those few who will stay here because they will respect our sovereignty. There's many different plans, and we can discuss that later. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tila, you started by saying sovereignty now. That's the first thing you said when you came up here on stage. I want you to expand on that. Sovereignty now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So, first of all, thank you. I'm so honored to be sitting up here with my heroes of Judea and Samaria. Each one of you are someone that I've known for many years, but Nadia, you specifically, I have to tell you, I've been traveling and visiting Judea and Samaria for, I think, close to 30 years, and my father would tell me about the women in green, led by this amazing woman, Nadia Matar.
All started by my mother-in-law, Ruth Matar, of blessed memory. She deserves
He
the
would point to communities that the women were sitting and planting and moving and living. And so I grew up knowing all about you as a bedtime story, and I'm honored to be sitting on the stage with you. I said sovereignty now.
Tila is doing a lot of work too. We'll give you compliments afterwards.
I said sovereignty now. Somebody completely shattered my dream yesterday. I was sitting with Natasha, who we all heard last night, and she said, "Excuse me, your conversation about sovereignty," she has a much better accent than me. She says, your conversation about sovereignty is really not relevant when the land is yours and you don't have to apply sovereignty to something that belongs to you. So I want to correct you and tell you that we already have sovereignty and you should call it something else. Since we're limited in our abilities, we'll continue with the sovereignty topic. And I want to go back and correct you 1 second, Nadia. Although I love you and I'm not correcting you in public, I'm adding to your force. There already is a Palestinian state. We don't need to establish another one. It was part of the partition plan of 1947, and Jordan was giving to the Arabs, and Israel was giving to the Jews. So I'm not really correcting you. I'm just elaborating on the fact that there's no reason to talk about a Palestinian state and not even give it credibility. When you talk or mention something, you're actually giving it power, and it's not relevant. We're talking about the one and only Jewish state, and that is Israel. Now, when it comes to solutions, what do we do with the refugees of Jordan who were left behind? And that is about, they say, 2 million Arabs living in Judea and Samaria. Well, I don't know, but the 10 million Arabs living in Judea and 2 million Arabs, living in Judea and Samaria. I will just say there are 10 million Americans that don't live on the mainland of the United States. They are considered residents. They don't have rights to vote. They can vote in their own local elections, and nobody's screaming about the occupation of Americans in different areas of the world. The Arabs are refugees of Jordan. Anybody who's a refugee in any country is expected to abide by the laws of that country. And that anyone that is not just proving their loyalty, but also a law-abiding citizen shouldn't have any issue living or residing in any country that they live in. If we compare what's going on in Yehuda Shomron right now, which is such a hot topic, but it shouldn't have been, because actually Israel won a war in 1967. The land that was acquired at the time could have been tripling the map of Israel. And we also won the Golan Heights and the Sinai Desert. In the Golan Heights in the late 90s, we actually met all of the movers and shakers in the late 90s of the Yesha Council, because we were looking for a bumper sticker that said Ha'amim HaGolan. In the late 90s, there were many movements to control and keep the Golan. Today, nobody would even think about not having control of the Golan, whether it's because of the residents that live there, for security purposes, for expansion reasons, natural expansions of families. The Golan is a perfect comparison, and I just think that President Trump's plan of relocation is not a new one. It was spoken about by many great leaders and rabbis, such as Rabbi Meir Kahana, Zichrono Livracha. He spoke about a humanitarian relocation. When Trump says it, It's amazing and it's wonderful to hear. He's the president. And we should, I think, continue the conversation of whatever it is that the leaders have already established. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, and let's go with it, but let's get it done.
Thank you so much, Tila. We're limited in time, but I want to turn now to Gaza. I mean, Israel's still in the midst of a war in Gaza.
If I can add something for Tila
Sure.
and Nadia. Like, it sounds that we agree that the conversation is about the peoples, Arabs that living in Judea and Samaria. I think it's not the truth. We can prove it easily. No one care about the people there, because when people talking about the rights to vote, what Tila said, no one screaming in the United States, but no one talking here that they didn't have an election for 20 years. And no one care in Palestinian Authority that is the only reason that they don't have an election because everyone knows that they will vote Hamas and Hamas will take over the government. So the rights to vote is nothing because today they don't have the rights. About the rights as a citizen in Jordan, in Syria, they still keep refugees towns, what they call refugees camp, without giving citizenship, and no one care. So why only here they care about the rights, and in Jordan, like Tila said, the same people, they have refugees camp in Jordan, in Syria, in Lebanon, and no one cares. The only reason, because it's not about the Arabs, and it's not about the land. The only question, if we will be here in the state of Israel, when they say from the river to the sea, they mean it. They don't want us here. They want to remove us. And the answer, we have to say, we are here forever to stay with Judea and Samaria, only one Jewish state. This is the answer for these people.
Thank you. Let's turn to Gaza now. Israel is still, of course, in the midst of a war in Gaza. But long term, they talk about the day after. What should Israel's policy be in Gaza? Should we maintain just a full-time security presence? Should we maintain a buffer zone? Should we rebuild the communities of Gush Katif? What are your thoughts on this? We'll start with you, Nadia.
Gush Katif is much too small. We have to go back, have Israeli control and Israeli sovereignty, and build the entire Gaza Strip, which will be emptied out because they will relocate to turn it into the Riviera of Israel, under Israeli control. Under Israeli control.
Not under American control.
Not American, not Belgian.
Okay. Tila, future of Gaza.
For all the people that are so worried about the Palestinian refugees, which the refugee status has carried over for 3 generations, not 25 as it's been declared in the world, anybody who's worried about a refugee should actually worry about them having a fair chance at life. Just like Syrian refugees went all around the world and were absorbed by many countries, the refugees of Gaza that are refugees of other countries, not of Israel, it is not Israel's fault or responsibility, should be, as Nadia said, giving a chance and an opportunity. And anybody that cares about the Arabs that live in Judea and Samaria and cares that they should have rights and cares that they should have, women should be able to drive and men should be able to have jobs that pay them well, just like the Jews in Arab communities are not allowed in. The Arabs from Arab communities that are allowed into Judea and Samaria to Jewish communities get paid minimum wage or more. All of rights and humanitarian efforts that are being made worldwide for other people, I have no problem. I care about humanity, but I care about my people first. There are 52 Arab countries, and I believe that if all those countries really cared about their brothers and sisters, they could solve it in a heartbeat. Just like the Jews took in Jews that were displaced after the Holocaust or from all of the Middle Eastern countries into Israel, and we helped our brothers and sisters, I am suggesting that everyone should help their own. And if everyone bothered to care and actually invested a little bit of time and effort in their own brothers and sisters, the entire world would be a better place.
Thank you. Governor Ganz, the future of Gaza in your view.
So I am the chairman of Yesha Council. Yesha is the initial word for Judea and Samaria and Gaza. We will never forget the Ain of Gaza, and it's a part of Eretz Israel and a part of the state of Israel. About the people there, I think only in North Korea and Gaza, you cannot relocate yourself. If you stuck there, you stuck forever. So the people that are talking about their rights, the truth, they are not, they don't care about the people, because if they don't care about the people, they can let them go if they want, because what President Trump suggested is voluntary relocation. And when you prevent people, you took them as a hostage. That's what they want. And I think exactly like Tila said, they want to leave. We have to help them, and we have to help President Trump with his vision, that we have share the same vision.
Thank you. Tila, before you said Jordan is Palestine, there's no need to create another so-called Palestinian state. Maybe you want to expand on that. And for the rest of you, I just want to say, you alluded to it, Nadia, but if you had your choice of a plan, of all the plans that are out there, or maybe you have a different plan, but what would you pick? So think about that, but Tila, I'll let you start.
Queen Rania from Jordan prides herself on saying that she is Palestinian. I don't know exactly what that means, if she claims that she's from the British Mandate of Palestine, or if she comes from a family that was there before, but she prides herself on saying that she is the Palestinian queen. Therefore, as queen, she should worry for her people. And in Jordan, forget Israel or Gaza or Judea and Samaria, there are Palestinians that live in refugee camps in Jordan. So before we find a solution for the Arabs of Judea and Samaria, I think we need to find a solution for the Palestinian refugees of Queen Rania in Jordan. And I also call upon Egypt to open up their borders and let people out and be humanitarian and help people relocate. Because if you actually care about the people of Gaza or the people of Judea and Samaria, then why like you said, are we holding them hostage? And what people are not allowed to get on a plane or to get in a ship or to walk across a bridge in every country with proper identification? If they're a danger to society, which is what's happening between Mexico and the United States, there are people who are a danger to society. They're either deported or not allowed to come in for security reasons. They're not coming over most of the time to kill. Most of the time from Mexico, they're coming over to work. Our neighbors are coming over to kill us. So I don't understand why Israel is expected or held to a different level of humanity. I don't expect anything different from Israel than I do from any other country. Humanity comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, and races, and anybody that wants a better chance at life should have an opportunity, and we should help them wherever in the world they want to be.
Thank you. Nadia, you have about 2 minutes, two and a half minutes to pick a plan. I don't know if you can, but let us know your thoughts.
I spoke at the beginning about the plans, and I want to make this interesting. I will disagree with Tila, just to make it interesting. Not only not to disagree, but to give food for thought. Jordan is Palestine. I will not agree with that. Jordan is Eretz Yisrael. And what we have today is only 22% of Eretz Yisrael, and Jordan is part of Eretz Yisrael. And I don't want any Palestinian state. Maybe France should become a Palestinian state. But otherwise, now seriously, no, I want to tell you why. The moment you say that you're willing to have a Palestinian state there in Jordan, that means you acknowledge the fact that there are people. There is no Palestinian people. There are Arab tribes who are here, Hamulot, and we have to start considering them like that. The Palestinians, because we didn't apply sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, we gave the lie of a Palestinian people a way of spreading. There is no Palestinian people. I have this book also that says the history of the Palestinian people, 100 white pages, right? Because there is no such thing. And therefore, the plan has to be Eretz Yisrael belongs to Am Yisrael. We'll start with a 22% from the river to the sea, Israeli sovereignty. What happens afterwards with Jordan, we'll see, but I will never give legitimacy to any Palestinian state, because then they'll attack us from there. What's the difference? We have to make sure that the Arabs of Eretz Yisrael, that's what they are, refugees, are relocated in a humanitarian way to have a wonderful life with their Hamula, and Eretz Yisrael will be ours. And I'll finish by saying, it's the Trump revolution, an opportunity for sovereignty. This is our latest journal, our Sovereignty Journal. I urge you to look at it, and that is our message. Now, to our leaders, all of you here, contact your Knesset members, the politicians, and tell them 2025 is the year of sovereignty. That's what we all have to do today.
Tila, you have, we'll give you 1 minute to respond
I
to Nadia.
agree with you. I teach a class on the history of the state of Israel, and I start my class by saying, where is Palestine? And I show them how in order to be an independent nation, sovereign nation, you have to have a government, you have to have a military, you have to have a language, and you also should have some form of currency, which we have and dates us back in this land to the times of the Tanakh. And because Judea and Samaria is the biblical homeland of the Jewish people and the Judeo-Christian values, I want to call on all of you here on two things. Number one, visit. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's your home. Go there. Find a place you've never been and take a tour. Go visit Nadia. She's done amazing things. Call Yisrael Ganz. He'll take you anywhere you'd like to go. The biblical homeland of Jews and Christians alike is in Yehuda v'Shomron. Every single biblical story you heard happened there, and you should go there. You should visit there, because when you're there and you understand it and you have a presence there, you won't be so willing to give it to anybody. The second thing is everyone else is doing it. I'm running on a slate for the World Zionist Congress. It's slate 7, and it is in full support of Judea and Samaria. So if you'd like to support and strengthen the communities in Judea and Samaria, vote for slate 7.
Thank you.
It's very important.
Governor Ganz, you have the last word. You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
So I will tell you something that will surprise you. In the last 2 months, I had two different meetings of Arab leaders from different towns, and they came to my office, and they came a group of few leaders each time, and they asked me, please help us trade off the Palestinian Authority Oslo Accords. We're afraid that if we will have a state, we will look like Lebanon, Syria. We don't want to stay here in peace. We don't want you to lead this area. And they understand that the PAs are corrupt. The people there suffer because, as Tila says, they take the money for themselves. And everyone wants Israel to be in this area. So the plan is very, very easy for me. It's a wake-up call from the government. Don't talk, do. You can do it right now. Everyone do it, and if you will do it, God will stay with you, will be with you. You have to make and apply a Israel law over Judea and Samaria today.
I want to thank all our panelists. I know there might be some questions. Unfortunately, as a result of time constraints, we're not going to get to questions from the audience, but I suggest you approach Governor Ganz, Nadia Matar, or Tila after the session directly, and please feel free to ask them questions. And I thank you all again. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Josh, very, very much. Thank you.